Hi there, my name is Jacob Heron. I am currently a junior at Minnesota State University Mankato, pursuing a major in social studies education, and today we'll be talking about flipped classrooms. Before going over this module, I honestly had no idea what a flipped classroom was. Hearing the term flipped classroom, I assumed it was some sort of like student teaches the class sort of thing, but this idea of the teacher creating video lectures to put online so that students can view them on their own time and kind of go back and look over stuff. And then using class time for more of a personalized one-on-one time, I think it's a great idea. Personally, from what I've read online about this, I am a proponent of it. I know there are some negatives to it, but so far, I think this could be a really interesting classroom idea. So, like I said, I had very little idea what a flipped classroom was, and the FOB site that was in the module was extremely helpful. It had some really good positives as well as negatives on there. The top three positives that I really took away from this site were that students get more one-on-one attention. Like I said before, when I was in high school, I struggled with math a lot, and I would go in early most days of the week to spend one-on-one time with my math teacher so I could learn a lot of these concepts. And with this flipped classroom idea, it gives students just so much more time to ask the teacher questions in class when they're working on things if they don't really understand everything. Students are going to learn the information and retain it a lot better this way. And then when they go home and review the lectures, they can just, they can play it back, they can pause things, they can really do it on their own time, which I think is a fantastic idea. Number two, students are able to learn at their own pace. You're always going to have groups of students who don't quite understand the material, and so they're going to need more attention. And then you're going to have the other side of the class is, exceeding, and they want to move on. They want to be challenged more. And it's not fair to those people to halt the class so that you can help the students who don't quite understand it, but at the same time, you definitely need to help these students. So with this whole flipped classroom idea, the kids who are exceeding, you give them the opportunity to kind of move ahead and continue to challenge themselves while you help the students who are falling behind to better understand the material. My third positive was that there's no need to worry about like absenteeism. There are plenty of reasons students can be absent from school: a death of a loved one, illness, something like that. And with this, if you miss class whatsoever, the lectures are just online. You can review them and then get to the homework, and you can always ask your teacher about the homework in class. There's really no need for teachers to make extra makeup assignments for these students who have missed class. There are, however, negatives to this. The three negatives that I picked out were, the first one is there is definitely more work for students. This is basically doubling their class time if you think about it. Not only do they have to sit in class and do all their work, but when they get home they have to go over these lectures so that they can learn new material and understand it and things like that. But at the same time, a lot of that time at home would be spent doing homework anyway, so I think it's pretty fair give and take there. The digital divide, this will definitely come into play here. There are students whose families cannot afford the technologies that are required for easily accessing these online materials, and so it's really going to divide classrooms between students whose families can afford this and students whose families cannot. And my third negative was who's really getting rich off of this. And with the way it's set up now, putting these videos on YouTube has they usually play 30-second advertisements or something along the lines of that before videos. So when students go online just to view their lectures, what they end up seeing is a lot of advertisements, and a lot of companies are making money off of this. Hopefully in the future we could find a way to ban these kinds of advertisements from learning materials like this, but for the time being this is a problem. And so like I said before, I am definitely a proponent of this classroom. There are teacher workshops in place. The websites, we're talking about a few of them where there are 1 to 2 day workshops on teaching how to create a flipped classroom, how to properly go about it, and then a 1 day workshop on just how to work the webcam technology in order to make your videos, which I think is extremely important and going to be very helpful for a lot of teachers out there. On one of the websites, there was an example of a teacher who, he went to this workshop, he learned about flipped classroom, and then when he brought it back to his own class, it failed miserably because he had failed to personalize it to his own students. But once he had done so, he was able to successfully teach to his students, and it ended up working great for his classroom. So I think as long as teachers understand what a flipped classroom is, and then kind of put their own spin on it a little bit, make it personalized to their students, that this kind of program could work out fantastically. So I definitely hope to see more flipped classrooms in the future.